They can ask you some questions. Have the pictures been that good? Have they been what has been expected?
They've been extremely good. Say what was expected. Well, we didn't know what to expect, frankly. But we really have seen the interior of a comet now, and Giotto has done everything that was expected to do. Because originally, don't forget, the mission was intended to end at the moment of closest approach. Well, it hasn't done that, because Giotto, I'm glad to say, has survived. It's gone through. It had a very rough ride, and parts of it have been badly damaged, including the camera, I'm afraid.
Will they be able to bring it back?
Ask me that again in a few hours, and I should be able to tell you. They're trying a manoeuvre now. We'll just see whether it works or not.
Middle of grandstand, I'll come back to you.
Right, you are.
Right, we'd like to thank John Williams, who sent an anamorphic drawing, which will be part of Patrick's bargain today. And if I just stick the little cylinder on there, you can see how cleverly he's done that. There's Patrick's image in there. Having drawn it like that, isn't that amazing?
Quite incredible. I wouldn't recognise myself.
From which one? From this?
Either.
I think it's
I would from that one, yes. You can recognise that.
Very clever. John, I think it's brilliant. Thank you very much for that. That's rather super. Right, let's take some calls, shall we? And say good morning to Alexander Haslam. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Alexander.
Where are you from, Alexander?
Belgium.
From Belgium.
Are you in Belgium now?
Yes.
Well, what can we do for you, Alexander?
I was just wondering, because we recorded the program on Thursday.
Yep.
There was a lot about the nucleus, and I was wondering what is so important about it.
The nucleus is the only really solid part of the comet, the only massive part of the comet, and that's made up very largely of ices, of very largely ordinary water ice, overlaid with a layer of dust. And in fact, the head of the comet and the tail are formed from the nucleus. So without the nucleus, there wouldn't be any comet. It's much the most important part.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to hear.
Thank you. Have a nice day in Belgium. You're on holiday there at the moment?
Yeah.
You are? I had to think about that.
Yeah,
Have a
nice
nice
and
time.
clear, anyway.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Please.
And we have Richard on the line. Good morning, Richard.
Hello.
Hello, Richard.
Richard Lehane.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Yeah. I'd like to ask you, how long has the actual comet been in the solar system, and do you think it will ever burn itself out?
Well, we think it's been in the solar system ever since the solar system was formed, because comets were formed from bits of icy stuff left over, so to speak, when the Earth and all the other planets were formed, and that goes back more than 4,500 million years. But it's not been coming into the sun regularly for anything like so long as that. We think it probably came in from the outer part of the solar system, round about 200,000 years ago. That's only a guess, of course, when it was captured by the gravitational pull of a planet and forced into its present orbit. Will it burn out? Not exactly burn out, but every time it passes through what we call perihelion, which is closest to the sun, the head and the tail form, and the comet loses a certain amount of mass. And it can't go on doing that forever. So probably in something like 2,000 more revolutions, there won't be any ices left, and that'll be the end of Halleys Comet. It's a long, long time to go yet.
Succinctly put. Well done. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thanks.
And Stephen White, the next question. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
You're through to Patrick Moore.
Hello, Stephen. What can we do for you?
Is it true that you can see Halleys Comet in April?
It's true if you happen to be in the southern hemisphere. I'm going down to have a look at it from Australia, and there, round about the end of the first week in April, it should be quite bright. But unfortunately, it's then so far south in the sky that you won't see it from here at all. It won't rise above the horizon. So if you want to see Halleys Comet at its best this time round, then go down to the southern hemisphere, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, somewhere like that, for the early part of April. Then you'll have a good view. But I'm not, I'm afraid, from here.
But if you're here, keep your eyes on the horizon. Next question is from whom? Caroline?
Caroline Ringsdore, yes. Hello, Caroline.
Where are you calling from, Caroline?
Jersey.
From Jersey. What's it like out there at the moment?
It's not too bad. It's sunny but cold.
Just becoming spring.
Yes, just about.
Okay, you're through to Patrick.
Thank you. Good morning, Patrick.
Hello, good morning to you, Caroline.
Good morning. I don't know if you remember, but my grandfather, Philip Ringsdale, he met you in 1970 and roundabout, and he won an award, and he gave you his telescope. I don't know if you remember him. I would just like to know if you do remember him and what happened to the telescope.
What was the award for?
I'm not quite sure, really, but...
I can tell you the answer to this, Caroline, because your grandfather, Phil Ringsdale, was a very great friend of mine.
Yes.
I knew him very well. He and I worked together on problems of studying the moon for a great many years. When he finally had to give up observing, I actually bought his telescope off him, and that telescope that your grandfather had is now in my observatory, in my garden. It's in perfect working order, and it's that telescope I've been using to photograph Halleys Comet.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
It was his dream to see Halleys Comet, but unfortunately
I can assure you that telescope is in perfect order, and I say your grandfather was a great friend of mine and a very great amateur astronomer who did a tremendous amount of good work. We all miss him very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you for your call.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Isn't that nice? Mark Pollitt. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hello,
Good morning.
Mark.
Hi, Patrick. When will be the next total eclipse?
Total eclipse of the sun, visible from here. The next total eclipse of the sun you can see from anywhere in England is going to be on August 11th, 1999, and you've then got to go to Cornwall. And if I'm still around then, you'll see me there pottering around in my bath chair. There are eclipses of the sun visible from other parts of the world before that, but from here, go to Cornwall, 11th of August, 1999. If you're going to stay down there, book your hotel early.
Right, thanks. Right, Jute Blackmon on the line. Hello, Jute.
Yeah,
That's
hello.
a lovely name.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello,
I was
Jude.
going to ask when Halleys Comet was going to burn out, but I'd like to ask a different one. Is Giotto going to track another comet? Which one is it?
Well, if Giotto is still under control, and I'm not sure whether it is, it may go on to another comet, and the one that's been suggested is a much fainter comet than Halley's. It's called Grigg-Schellerup, because it was discovered independently by two astronomers, an Australian named Grigg and a Dane named Schellerup, and that's a short-period comet, much fainter than Halley's. And if Giotto is still in proper working order, then it could be sent on to rendezvous with that comet. But we are not sure yet whether it is. We only hope so.
Smashing. Good question, good answer. Time for a quickie from Stuart Sanderson.
Hello, Stuart.
Morning.
Morning.
I'd like to ask you, do you think the Giotto mission, as far as it went, was a success?
It was a complete success, and the mission was originally planned to end the closest approach. So even if Giotto does nothing more, it's still been an outstanding triumph, and it may go on yet. And don't forget, this was mainly a British probe built by British Aerospace, and we're all very proud of that.
Absolutely. Well done. Thanks for all the calls. Sorry we don't have time for any more.
No mind.
But you have brought a bargain.
I have indeed, yes. Here it is. Want to see what's inside?
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, we have a book which I edit called the Yearbook of Astronomy.
Right. Marvellous.
Then there's the book that I wrote with my colleague Dr. John Mason, and that is about Halley's Comet. I say, I wish it had looked like that, but we didn't get it wrong. And thirdly, I've just got a record out of music that I've written myself. It's band music, the kind that was played so expertly by our school band here earlier on today.
Right.
And this one does include the new march that I've written called the Halleys Comet March.
Excellent. Excellent. And you have a question for all these, don't you?
Yes,
Sorry.
and here is the question. Listen carefully. In what year did Edmund Halley himself actually see Halley's Comet?
We'll have the question again in a moment in case you missed it. But these books and the record and John Williams' wonderful drawing here, the
that's great, isn't
anamorphic
it?
drawing, all the bargain today to Superstore, BBC Television, London W12 8QT. That's the address. If you can answer this question one more time, Patrick.
In what year did Edmund Halley himself actually see Halley's Comet?
Good luck with that. And you're coming on the pop panel.